What's up, everyone? Now, look, I wasn't going to cover this initially. I was just going to let this lie and leave it to rest. But over the last few days, it's really been starting to gnaw at me a little bit. It just doesn't sit well with me at all. So let me give you some idea what I'm talking about. So, as many of you know, I did a video on Xvault Gaming, this video right there, whereby I'm just going through his video and rebuttaling some of the things he said. Anyway, this led to me and him having somewhat of an exchange on Twitter, which was inevitable. It happens every day. That's not big news, right? But because he was struggling to deal with the points that I was raising, my man Xvault resorted to insults, which again, we expect on Twitter, right? But Xvault called me a nonce. Now, if you don't know what a nonce is, it's the worst possible thing you can call someone in the UK. This is what nonce means. So, when you call someone a nonce, you're calling someone a PDF. You're calling someone a, pedo. You're basically insinuating, directly, publicly accusing me of being involved with children. It's the worst possible thing you can call someone. Now, my response to this was, well, I'll show you. This was my response. So I called him out for calling me such a thing. I thought it was a really strange thing to say, especially since I'd heard in the grapevine that apparently he once called Alex something very similar. His defense to calling me this was a strange one, and this is what really exposes him for being the toxic, horrible person that he really is. So his defense to this was basically to say he didn't realize what a nonce was. Now, there's a few layers to this I want to unpack. Firstly, why not just leave the point as it was? This isn't Spider-Man. Expectations shouldn't have been that high. Why throw in the you nonce at the end of it? That right there, despite what you think the word means is a different thing. Like, you are accountable for what you say. Right? That's one level to this. Secondly, he calls me stupid time and time again, states I have a low IQ, while then admitting to being like a 5-year-old, just throwing around words that he doesn't know what they mean, right? But the most important part of all this is when he realized, let's just say for the sake of argument, in fact, let me show you his tweet. This was what he said in response to finding out what it meant. Now, okay, let's just say for the sake of this argument, he's telling the truth and he didn't know what nonce meant. Let's just assume he thought it meant something else. When you find out that you've inadvertently called someone that, with all, publicly, you've called someone a PDF, you've called someone a child, right? What should be your first response to finding out that? You would imagine that any decent human being would immediately apologize. We're just having a conversation about gaming over here, right? We have different opinions, Xvault. I called you out for some of yours. So you find out that you've calling me a nonce means something that is horrible, something that is the worst thing possible you could call someone. And Xvault's immediate reaction wasn't to apologize to me, wasn't to try and make it right. No. It was to instead call me something else. Oh, didn't know what it meant, so how about I call you this instead? That's the sort of man Xvault is. It's absolutely disgusting. So yeah, upon finding out that that's what it meant, he called me something else entirely. And then he proceeded to block me on Twitter after that, and then delete his exchange. Then delete the tweet of him calling me a nonce, scared that it might get back to him somehow. Well, it is going to get back to you somehow, because it's a disgusting thing to say. And the fact that you didn't apologise for it makes me wonder if you said it inadvertently or not. Do you know what I mean? Because surely if you didn't mean to say it, Xvault, you would have apologised for it. The fact that you didn't apologise for it makes me wonder if you actually meant what you said and then just didn't then maybe thought, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be saying that, and tried to delete the evidence of you saying it. It hasn't sat right with me, and anyone following you, subscribing to you, and supporting you should really have a serious think about the type of man that you are. Because you are the worst, Xvault. You are the worst of the worst. Bro, you're a terrible, terrible individual. You are toxic. You have so much love for that little plastic box that if anyone dares disagree with you, they're a shill, they're a grifter, they're fake, they're lying, or they're a nonce. You, my friend, don't deserve this platform. You don't. So I apologise for the negativity in today's video, but it was just, like I said, it was gnawing away at me. And the fact that he couldn't apologise really tells us everything we need to know about his character. So anyway, I'll have some more positivity coming. I'm going to react to the E-Day trailer, react to the new Silent Hill trailer that's just dropped, and there's a few other things I want to talk about that's going on in the world of gaming lately. So, stay tuned for that. Until next time, guys, Bruvian out.